Alright guys, this one is going to be on linked list 203, removed linked list elements. So basically what they're asking us to do is they give us a head that's the start of a linked list, and they want us to remove all vals specified with the val parameter. So in this case, the val parameter was set to 6, so we need to take our linked list and remove all the 6s. So the first way I plan to approach this is I want to have the edge case of when the val appears at the very first, so at the head. I want to just get rid of it and forget about it. So what I'm going to do is say while head and head.val is equal to the val, so 6 in this case, if it was at the start. Then I just want to say head equals head.next. And what this is going to do is just it's going to jump to the next node, and we're going to lose a reference to that 6 or that val that we don't want anymore. So that's good. So now if I were to console.log head, it won't change this example because there's no 6 at the start. So it'll still give me a issue here. But just to see that it's still firing good. So now that we've done the edge case where the first value is the one we want to get rid of, we can actually look into when the value is the next node. So in this case, if 2's next node is 6, therefore we need to do something. So what I'm first going to do is make a variable called cur, which is just going to be the head. I'm going to use the cur variable to manipulate the pointers, but I need to keep track of the head, and I don't want to mess with the head because that's going to be like my reference to the solution pretty much. So what I'm going to say is while cur exists and cur.next. So basically, if there's a cur.next value, this is going to stop us from doing some stuff like if there's no next value on this last 6, it's not going to try and hit the something else. But this 6 would have gotten removed anyways because the next on 5 is going to remove it here. So while cur and cur.next, if cur.next.val is equal to the val, what do we want to do? We want to set cur.next, and we want to basically skip cur.next. We want to skip over to the next node. So what I'm going to do is say cur.next.next. So we're skipping that node and we're breaking the chain. So imagine we go from 1 to 2. Oh, our next node is the one we want to remove. So I'm going to set our next node to next.next, and then we just skip that 6, and it's no longer part of our daisy chained linked list. And if this isn't the case, if there is no value, we just need to progress through the linked list, and we're going to do that by just saying cur equals cur.next. So now, as you recall, I said the head is going to be our reference point to the linked list. Head and cur are both pointers that point to these nodes. So if we were to console.log head now, you can see we've removed those vals, right? And then another thing I want to point out is you might be like, well, what happens when there's no cur.next.next? So like, for instance, on this 5 right here, when we're on node 5, we're going to say cur.next is equal to val because that 6 is the val. So we need to skip and go next.next, but there is no next here, and it's just it would be a null value. Well, the while loop is checking for cur, and cur.next. So if there's no cur.next, then it's not going to run and it won't give us an error. So that is the logic behind this next.next business. Okay, with that said, we can just return our head, and there's our answer. All right, guys, kind of a short video, but I hope you enjoyed it, and keep working hard.